everyone, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo! Last time, Shizune, Misha, and Hisao all graduated. And I'm pretty sure we all know that they're going to meet again someday. I know that they know. That's what they said anyway. But anyway, with that, we finished Shizune's route. I wonder what's going to happen now. Let's see. Alright, so, we're back at pretty much the beginning of Katawa Shoujo. Well, not really the beginning, but pretty close to the beginning. And here we have the moment when Misha asked if there was anything that we wanted to ask. Last time we asked about Shizune's deafness. Well, not really, but this time, though, I could ask about the library, but no, I think I got everything I need to know. I can't think of anything, really.
Ooh! That means we've been good guides, doesn't it?
If you say so. Misha positively beams, and so does Shizune after a quick translation. This is all the way back when we didn't know how to use sign language. So, I shake my head at their somewhat exaggerated enthusiasm and shift my focus on the food. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they are talking about secret girl stuff or something. Maybe. I quickly notice the conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence. Awkward. Okay, so this time we're not going to let Shizune and Misha decide. We're just going to read. Okay? Okay. I do what I always do when I don't know what to do. Like now. I've already started on one of the books I borrowed yesterday, and took it with me to school to fill the empty moments between classes. I find the page that I creased a corner of to mark the spot I left yesterday night and pick up from there. Misha and Shizune are still arguing heatedly, probably about restaurants still. If I join them, I'd just get caught up in that, or worse, get grilled about joining the student council. Misha isn't speaking aloud since there is nobody who'd need to hear what they are talking about. But why does she tend to sign things even when Shizune doesn't need to understand what's being said, or even more strangely, when Shizune is not around at all? What an odd conflict of habits. Well, I find it hard to focus on the book, and besides, the lunch break beckons me to leave the dullness of the classroom. I do so, heading down for the cafeteria. Misha and Shizune, having come to a conclusion of one kind or another, follow in my wake, though still talking in their animated fashion.
We have to run now. There's an important student council meeting regarding the festival, and we finally decided where to eat.
Don't understand what you're saying.
Too bad you can't join, but this lunch meeting is only for council members. Which you were one in the previous route, but whatever. This is a different route. We can take you there some other time. Oh, but that'd be like a date, wouldn't it?
The girls leap downstairs. I didn't manage to get far from the third floor hallway before all this commotion struck. Literally. I should get going as well. The lunch and afternoon class passed uneventfully. I read most of the book I had started yesterday and eat some of the mostly inedible offerings of the cafeteria. The class is tiresome. The teacher seems like an okay person, despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. In the final bell sounds, I realize that there's still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd! At the hospital, I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here, filling a considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with the teacher. Muto is examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow.
What is it, Nakai?
I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there is nobody else around. Nothing. Thinking about what I do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on the pen he is holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine.
You have no plans?
No, I considered joining a club, but don't know what kind of club would interest me.
Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest.
I guess. But I don't know how to continue from there. Muto looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It feels like that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Danged if I do, danged if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive.
Those things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with someone, even if they are blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at a first glance.
Well, that's true. He says the same thing as Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, when the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha? Or Hanako. It's not like you can ignore her face. But...
No buts!
I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Oh, it's Misha! Teacher! Misha crashes in, hand straight in enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha in general, slumps in his chair.
Mikado.
Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong but has no idea what.
Yes?
We have talked about volume control before.
Yes?
But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes.
So, what is it?
We need help! We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress!
She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around.
So, get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that?
Plywood! Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little, but that time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's none left there, so do you know where there is some?
I don't understand. How would I know?
The president, thought that a teacher would know if there is plywood. Was she wrong?
Muto looks like he's in great pain, frowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible. Like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time.
I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any.
Aww, what should I do?
Or perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya? I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You don't have to pry them from his cold dead hand. You'd have to pry them from his cold dead hands, but that's a different matter.
Well, okay then. I don't have time! We're so busy!
She holds her head with both of her hands, looking as despairing as is possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair.
I should I even be fetching these things? There's so much to do and we are falling behind the schedule!
Muto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face.
I think it'd be better if he didn't.
I mean...
Meh.
I wonder if you could get some temporary help.
He switches to staring at me focusedly with a hard expression, as if trying to say,
Go make some friends.
Why are you looking at me like that? I guess I can give you a hand.
You can? Thanks, Hee-chan! You're really nice!
She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping,
Ah! And looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Hee-chan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun!
We just had a little chat.
Oh no! It's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hee-chan?
Well, no. No, I'm not.
Is Hee-chan in trouble, teacher?
I just said I wasn't in trouble!
No, he's not.
Muto sighs deeply, and I feel that I have to help Misha get her off the teacher's back. So, what do you need?
Here's a list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room.
She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the council or not.
Aww. Still, thanks, Hee-chan. Try to be quick. We're in a still building street right now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry!
She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement.
Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now.
Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's, I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Leaving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway. So here we have So here we are at the part where Shizune and Lily were arguing. And Shizune just told me not to slack off when it comes to the festival. Well, this time I'm gonna be like, hey, come on, cut me and Lily some slack. I mean, seriously. Cut Lily some slack. And also me while you're at it, please. Thank you. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much, even if I wanted. That's right. You shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into it on his first week. Lily taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decide to back her up, too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with us both.
Excuses. Next class rep has had plenty of time to deal with her report. And we repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making it a festival like success.
Yeah, but as I said, I'm not sure if... I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, it will mean being drawn into a confrontation with Shizune, and this is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I turn my back at them. I get back to my seat and shut my ears from the finale of the argument between Lily and Shizune. Eventually, Lily leaves her classroom and Shizune and Misha seat themselves without talking to me. I can feel Shizune's eyes burning into my back. She is probably angry at me, but I'm just as angry with her. I don't get why she had to drag me into the argument. That's how she is. It's just how Shizune is. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I had to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turned the pages of my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do, despite trying to keep up my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The The rhythmic clashing of chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just past the time, even though they are right there in the textbook. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. I noticed Shizune and Misha also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune is signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Maybe there is pent-up anger in there. Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters. And then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, the business is soon finished and the girls sit down in their seats again.
I'm so tired!
She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I'll let you use the opportunity to consult with Shizune a bit, without getting roped into the student council thing again. Though I suspect that door is now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in this school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but in the end, she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her sign into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously.
Well, of course! We're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all of our strength. We should shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws. No, I think there was encumbrances. No, nothing that might make the festival short of perfect.
Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting of them.
Oh, hello!
Oh, it's Hanako! I look over my shoulder to see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door.
Hey! Playing delinquent again?
Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Aw, poor Hanako. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako?
Has Lily been here? Sorry, haven't seen Sato. She, came by in the morning, though.
Why do I feel like... whatever. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course Shizune isn't going to look away, and she's intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems.
Do you know where she is?
Sorry, I don't.
If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom, working on their festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at?
Hanako nods quickly and retreats with haste.
What were you talking about? Oh yeah, we are really working hard to make the festival happen.
and driving other people insane along the way. Well, good luck with that. I stand up to leave, making my exit before either of them manages to berate me anymore for slacking off. The halls are somewhat quiet, as expected. Everyone must be in club meetings or at festival preparations. Or both. Shizune's words about being a slacker echo in my head. I feel a bit guilty about not contributing, but I seem to lack the resolve to do something concrete about the matter. For the festival, it's too late already unless I count helping Shizune and Misha, which I naturally don't. In clubs? I don't know. Maybe I'm not a club type of person. Maybe not. Halfway through the way from the school building to the dorms, I spot a figure in front of the dorms. It's Rin. It looks like she is working on her mural today, too. I walk over to her, but she doesn't seem to notice me approaching. She's sitting on an upturned box, looking intently at the wall she is painting with a brush held between her toes. The mural has progressed considerably since yesterday, but still half done as far as I can tell. More colors have appeared and the twisted yet human-like figures have spread and increased in number. I have to say, the style is quite eye-catching and very unique. Not that I would be knowledgeable about art by any measurable scale, but it's very nice looking nevertheless. I clear my throat to get her attention, but not startle her so that her concentration won't break. Wait. She doesn't even turn to check who it is. I'll wait. Still waiting! 15 minutes later, I decide that her concentration is indeed unbroken, and also that I have waited long enough to warrant poking her gently on the shoulder to remind her of my presence. Rin turns her head mechanically to my direction, ending up staring at my crotch level. Oh, it's Hisao. She can tell? I would be a lot less uncomfortable if she would look at my face. And as to observation, looking at my crotch, knowing who I am. Firework, I see. The conversation starts as if I hadn't been here for a quarter of an hour already, but it's not a concern. At least it starts. Looking good. It does. The layers of paint hiding other layers of paint, mixing and shaping the human figures, really created an impressive look. But Rin looks miffed. You shouldn't comment on works in progress. 7 years of bad luck. Okay then. Sounds terrible. I guess I'll take it back then. Still, it looks good. I wonder if I can get 14 years of bad luck for thinking that. Rin turns back to look at her painting and pokes it with the big toe. Could you mix some of this color? I'm running out of it. She looks down at a half-empty bowl with the remains of the same pinkish paint in it. I didn't really intend to stay and help her with this project, though. I guess I didn't intend to do anything much. I look at Rin. She looks emptily back at me. Just this once. Rin picks up another brush and drenches it in another tone of pale red. There are dozens of similar bowls around her working area. From looks of the scene, she could have been sitting there for hours. I wonder if she has. That would mean she could have been skipping school, though, which, of course, I wouldn't put beyond someone like Rin. I pour a little bit of white and red into the bowl, trying to match the color with the one already on the wall. I can't seem to get it right. Relatable. It's really inconvenient for her not to not mix it up in the first place. Getting it to be exactly the same tone will be impossible, but at least I can try to get it as close as I can. Speaking of hard work, isn't that a huge workload for you too? It's such a big painting and all. Oh, I'm not old and bare enough to think like that. I guess you aren't. You guessed right. Legs hurt though. They feel like slugs. Slugs made of sea slugs. Okay then! Because of the position? Yeah, I like doing it in a horizontal position more, if you know what I'm talking about. But it can't be helped. Can't ask the wall to lay down. Saying that, she stretches herself a little, bending her legs and back far more than a human should flex. It's astonishing how effortlessly she manages her body around. There is a small flinch in her otherwise blank expression, a hint of pain maybe, as she stretches out her calves. Reed must have stamina and dexterity far above a normal person to be able to live like she does, but she's wearing out working on this. Why push yourself so much? Take a break or something at least. Continue tomorrow if it's bad. This gives her a pause. A long one too, feeling like a mental yawn.
I don't think so, Hisao.
Yeah, didn't think so.
I'm not pushing myself.
Sure looks like you are.
No, it's not about pushing or pulling or anything related to that kind of thing. There is this boy.
A boy?
Yes,
Where?
at the art club.
And?
He is blind.
Oh, how can you paint if you are blind?
No idea.
So why is he there?
That's the point. He is there.
She really should speak more than one word at a time to make this feel more like a discussion and less like an interrogation.
He really can't do anything that you call art, right? But he comes there anyway, and paints. Why?
I don't know. Why?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Well, how am I supposed to know? So?
He doesn't paint often, but I think his paintings are very interesting.
I'm sure they are.
I once tried that, painting with eyes closed. Wasn't too interesting, and cleaning up the floor took ages. Didn't try again.
Don't blame you.
But he has becoming better at sculpting.
That's good. I see. Maybe she was trying to make a point with this. Maybe she forgot she had one. Seems like the art club is full of interesting people.
Not really.
Pretty blunt statement, and she totally missed the sarcasm. No?
Just like I said, they're not very interesting. I usually don't have much interest in people who are not interesting. Maybe you have.
Maybe? Awkward.
But that boy is interesting. Maybe I am like that boy. Or maybe you are. Maybe everyone is. Doing things you can't do just because you can.
That's pretty deep, I think. And tell that to her. You're a deep one.
Nah, I'm a really shallow and thoughtless person. People say that to me all the time.
I think there may be some people out there who are wrong. Just saying.
Did you know that I can only think of 4 things at the same time?
No, but now I do.
Right now I'm thinking of the second floor girl's toilet, ice cream flavored ice cream, the middle toe, and a haircut.
Those are some pretty random thoughts.
I'm going to need a haircut.
Your hair is pretty short already, though. Oh. She shakes her head around vigorously, letting her short and messy hair ruffle wildly around. I can see that doing it is something she likes to do. We fall silent as Reen treads around absent-mindedly, poking some brushes around. The thought about the art club sticks in my head for a while longer. I feel like I'm treading on very unknown territory with art. The way these meetings with Reen go, it's as though I'm starting a smoking habit or something. I should probably stop talking with her. It's not like I dislike her, despite the confusion of her being herself's causes, and I don't dislike art either. I've even drawn for fun sometimes. I just don't have a real creative drive or any technical skill. So usually, if I were to draw something, I get white paper syndrome and just freeze completely. Understandable. That, or I manage to draw something disfigured and promptly get frustrated at my inability to put the picture in my head down on the paper, then call it quits without really even trying to make an effort. Reen clearly doesn't have this problem, but she frustrates me in another way. Being with her is like looking into a mirror that doesn't reflect anything. It makes one question the sanity of the act. Reen sits down on her box, swaying from side to side, apparently comfortable with the uncomfortable silence. She is staring at me again, or maybe over my shoulder. I can't quite figure out where her eyes are focused. I'm thinking of leaving so she can carry on working undistracted and that I can do whatever I'm going to do alone. It's not like I have anything that must be done today. Oh, shoot!
Who?
Nobody. I just forgot to tell Hanako that Lily was looking for her. Do you know her? From my class?
Oh, her. The mystery toilet girl.
Well... Reen, I think you might have the wrong Hanako.
That person is funny. I saw her going to the toilet 5 times during one recess 3 weeks ago. I'm sure it's the world record. He was very mysterious.
Does the Hanako we know really go to the bathroom that much? That's why you call her Mystery Toilet Girl?
What other reason could there possibly be? Well, if there is, it's an eternal mystery. I don't follow her in there. Maybe it was the week before that? Could have been. Looking at her makes me hungry.
Don't say that! At least, not around her. Rain turns to look at me blankly, as if she's not sure why I reproved her. But she doesn't acknowledge understanding any more than before, so I give up at this point. So, do you want to go eat dinner then?
No, not yet.
Rain has turned her hungry gaze back to the wall, looking slightly more energetic, or at least slightly less lethargic than she did before. It's as if the wall is an opponent she has to vanquish, something she must overcome before she can indulge in dinner. This is the feeling I get. A weird sense of empathy overcomes me and makes me smile a little to myself. For all her oddity, Rain is pretty cool after all. This is exactly why I like her. I'll be going anyway. Have fun! Rain has already grasped a brush and is dipping it into fresh paint, so of course she can't hear me anymore or doesn't answer anything even if she does. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise, and I'm going to keep it. Besides, Emmy is bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. Alright, so, right now, we're jogging with Emmy. Last time we took it easy, but this time, let's go for it! What am I doing here? Am I really just going to fold and let Emmy pull ahead? I speed up. The second lap's done quickly, and without even considering it, I keep going. Emmy looks back over her shoulder at me and grins.
Still going?
Want you to think I'm out of shape.
Sounds like you kinda are. Emmy laughs, without breaking her stride no less, and speeds up even more. Well, if this is the way we're going to play things, I increase my own pace as well. I can feel my lungs burning, and my legs are starting to question just what the heck I think I'm doing. Lactic acid screams in my muscles, but I close my ears. I can't let myself fall behind, because that would be a loss. The rational voice in my head inquires mildly just when we started playing a game. I'd answer it, but I'm having a lot of trouble thinking at present. She's so fast! How the heck did she... It's like a string pulling at my chest, a choking of narrowness and pain. Okay, maybe going for it was a bad idea! Before I can think of anything else but then, oh shoot, the track disappears from under my feet. I stumble, one hand shooting down to clutch my chest, the other hitting the track to keep me from falling on my face. Emmy whirls around and her eyes widen. Hey, Sal! She yells at me, sprinting from the other side of the track. What's wrong?
Nothing, just... Oh no. Keep your breathing steady. Calm down. Don't panic. Don't panic.
Do you need me to get the nurse?
I close my eyes, shutting out the outside world. Oh no. Just calm down. Calm down. My heart struggles to regain its rhythm. Slowly, the pain in my chest begins to subside. Soon, it's gone like nothing happened. It was... nothing? No, something happened there. I opened my eyes again and glanced at a very worried Emmy. I think I'm fine. My voice sounds weird even to myself, oddly even and matter of fact. It makes Emmy frown.
I don't think you are.
She seems to come to a decision and nods to herself.
Right, you're coming with me. You've got to see the nurse.
Emmy grabs my arm and drags me up. I feel a bit wobbly, but I refuse the shoulder Emmy offers for support. Honestly, I'm a little ashamed at my own weakness. I'd rather not have Emmy concerned about me, but it seems to be too late. Heck, I'd really rather not have anyone concerned about my condition, although at this point, it seems to be too late for that as well. I'd like to be able to deal with the whole thing on my own without being a bother to anyone else. While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have this condition in the first place.
Nurse!
Emmy crashes into his office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least.
Good morning, Sunshine. What's up?
Sunshine? I mean, Emmy is kind of a ray of sunshine, so... Anyway, he calmly sips from his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Emmy's gaze to me, looming in the doorway.
Hisao? What brings you here?
We were running and he stumbled over and started grabbing at his chest and I thought I'd come get you and make him wait here.
I didn't even get a chance to read all that! Easy there, Emmy. Calm down. Hisao, what happened?
I don't know. We were running and then my chest started hurting like that time before, but it went away after a few seconds. It was just a flutter or something. The nurse frowns, as if to say that just a flutter was some kind of oxymoron.
I didn't mean quite this when I suggested you get some exercise. You've got to be more careful, Hisao.
I was being careful. Come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. Doesn't seem as well reasoned as I thought it would.
You just what? That is...
I was racing Emmy.
Emmy, is this true?
Emmy fidgets, looking adorably contrite.
Well, maybe? I'm really sorry.
Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it out loud and merely nods. The nurse sighs and rubs at his forehead with one hand tiredly.
Emmy, you've got to be more sensitive to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hisao has a bad heart, and getting him to race you was incredibly irresponsible.
Actually, I started it. The nurse is stunned by my statement.
You what?
We were just running, and Emmy started to pull away, so I, sped up to catch her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, mutters a prayer for patience to some god or another, and looks back down at the both of us.
So, you're both stupid.
Well, we did kind of a dumb thing, so...
That's a comfort, I guess. Now come on, Hisao. I've got to make sure your heart's not going to explode or something.
I dutifully obey and follow him to the adjacent room where we ascertain that I am, in fact, not going to keel over and die. Well, that's good to know.
So how does it feel?
I don't know. Nothing much. Tired, but it might just be from the exercise.
You should stay here for a few hours and rest, and we'll see how you feel after that.
I am not going to object, so I lie down on the infirmary bed. A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. I couldn't hear what he said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries.
Look, I'm really, really sorry. I should have been more careful.
Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. She looks awfully down and sorry, and my reassurances don't do anything much to cheer her up.
I want to make it up to you.
Again with that decisive nod.
So, you have to come to lunch with me. I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really, really good!
I start with a, you don't have to, but then shut up and just nod at her when I see her face.
Good! We meet on the roof.
We?
Yep. The The weather's nice now, so the room's a great spot for lunch, you know.
I see.
You'll come, right? You won't deny me the chance to make it up to you?
Of course not.
Great! See you there!
I stay afloat somewhere between asleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed, apart from my senses. I swallow with difficulty and then try to lie down as still as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do. The nurse is shuffling around on the other side of the curtains he drew to give me privacy. I can see his shadow shifting about in the sunlight. He has opened the window of his office. It's windy outside. The clean white curtains flare in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion like waves. Light sips through them slowly, half absorbing into the fabric. Good night. I close my eyes. The breeze on my face feels like the soft fabric of the curtains. I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, trying to shut out the sound of the nurse tapping away on his computer and my own heavy breathing. It's steady. Dang it! Not even a week and I end up like this again. I really screwed up this time. Should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one. And why did I try to act brave, like that heart flare was no big deal, even it was obvious that it was? It was just a reflex to push it away, to keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Emmy to see it. Stupid! I have to be more careful, or I will end up in the hospital again, or worse. That's my final thought before I give in to the tiredness. Good night. Alright. So you know how Emmy wants to meet up with us for lunch? Well, I think that lunch period will come next time. So, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want more of my content. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and see ya in the next one! Yep, see ya!